Alright, it looks like we up. Shalom.
Shalom.
Hey, so first and foremost, we want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shem,
Hashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shai,
Bahashem,
Hashem,
Rakah,
Rakah,
Kadash.
Kadah.
Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to all the sincere Akim, enduring afflictions, making their calling and election sure. Shabella Kabar.
This is Brother Isaac.
And we're just gonna go ahead and get right into it. Lord willing, this be edifying to the elect, Yahweh Bashim Hashai, Bahar Kakadash, Barakatham, to all sincere listeners who may hear this. You wanted to kick it off and say, Matthew?
Did you want to wait on that article for a little minute?
Come on, let me see. This is one in theatlantic.com. It says a crime by any name. It says the Trump administration commitment to deterring immigration through cruelty has made horrifying conditions in detention facilities inevitable. All right. Now this is basically a year ago. This article was back in July 2019. It's crazy looking at this picture. You know, caged up, wrapped in aluminum foil, man. So it says the horrors detailed in the press were hard to believe. Detainees described overcrowding so severe that it was difficult to move in any direction without jostling and being jostled. Jostled. I'm not sure what that jostled. Let me just bring it up into Google.
Jostle.
It says push, elbow, or bump against someone roughly, typically in a crowd. Con. So it says it was difficult to move in any direction without jostling and being jostled. The water provided them was foul, of a dark color, and an ordinary glass would collect a thick sediment. Come on, man. That's crazy. The authorities never removed any filth. The detainee wrote that the only shelter from the sun and rain and night dews was what we could make by stretching over us our coats or scraps of blanket. As for food, our ration was in quality a starving one. It says it being either too foul to be touched or too raw to be digested. Wow. And this is Northern Kingdom, man. You know, anyone who wants to say that, you know, they not Israelites, man. That's our people, man. You had anything?
I
was thinking of getting
yeah,
that and
what you got?
No, I was just gonna get that it just reminded me of that, and let me see. I think it's in Jeremiah. Well, actually, when it talks about wormwood.
I know what you're talking about. I'm not exactly sure what chapter.
Yeah, it's a few of them. Let me get this in Jeremiah 9 and verse 15. I'll just pull it up. Jeremiah 9 and 15. It says, therefore, thus said the Lord, Yahweh Shem HaShai of hosts, the power of Israel, behold, I will feed them, even this people, with wormwood, and give them water of gall to drink. Just for edification, we get that word wormwood in the Hebrew. Strong's H 3939, it says la'ina, it says bitterness. This is regarded as poisonous and therefore accursed. So this is all part of the prophecies, man. Our people, man. You know? Just want to, you know, that was the point. I could get this just to jump to the 16. It says, I will scatter them also among the heathen, whom neither they nor their fathers have known, and I will send a sword after them till I have consumed them. And we see that happening, man. Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom, you know? Like Jeremiah the 50 and 33. You know, we're oppressed together, man. Northern and Southern Kingdom. You know, in this place, you know, Babylon the Great, man. But yeah, that was it. You have something, bro?
I got a quick one. Let me get there. Hosea chapter 9, verse uh, uh, can you type it in for me? Bring forth children to the word. I thought it said,
Con. Let me see. Hosea 9:13.
this one.
Con. Nah.
Oh, okay, so like I'm tripping. Okay, yeah, I was there. I got it. My
Mhm.
bad.
Let me read it for you.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
Where do we start? 13.
Yeah, Bible start. Well,
This is a
my fault. Yeah, start at 12.
Con. This is the prophet Hosea 9:12. It says, "Though they bring up their children, yet I will bereave them, that there shall
It's
not
talking
be."
about the northern kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
you got the northern kingdom. For the longest, they've been bringing up their kids to the U.S. border. To pretty much seek help. Pertaining to Isaiah the 30th chapter and Isaiah the 31st chapter. You know, uh, go to East. Matter of fact, can we grab that real quick? I don't know, Butcher.
You said Isaiah where?
Go to Isaiah 31:1. About to say.
Con. Prophet Isaiah 31:1. It says, "Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, and trust in chariots, because they are many, and horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai."
Yeah, that's what happened. Northern Kingdom, ultimately been trying to bring their children up to the U.S. Border, to seek help from Egypt, Pharaoh, and because America got so much so to speak abundance, so they was thinking that it was all great coming up, but ultimately, they forgot who their enemy is, which is true to say, never trust my enemy, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So they seeking help from the damn devil, and they forgot about the Holy One of Israel, man. Which ultimately going into the prophecy, what you brought out in Jeremiah about how the Heavenly Father is going to consume them with a sword.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, that's yeah. Can you go to 30? So can you read 30 and 1 through 3? Real quick, and then jump into the Hosea 9.
Con. You said, what, you talking about Isaiah, you said?
Yeah, go to Isaiah 30 and
Okay.
verse 1 through 3.
Okay. This is the
Bible
prophet Isaiah 31. It says, "Woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin." It says, verse 2 says, "That walk to go down into Egypt, and to have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt."
Yeah, so that's how you know this literally come out the Northern Kingdom, because they literally be walking down into Egypt, man. You know what I'm saying? They
Mm.
literally be walking down here. You know what I'm saying? To do what? To trust in the strength of Pharaoh and the shadow of Egypt, man. You know?
Mm-hmm. Verse 3, it says, "Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion."
Yeah, and that's why, a lot of our people, speaking of the Northern Kingdom, are in these detention camps, man. These pretty much modern day concentration camps. You know, that's why they're in there. Why? Because trusting in Esau and the American way, to help you, but ultimately, that was your destruction. And ultimately, that's coming from Yahweh Shemashah. Why? Because you're not seeking him. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's I just want that point out. You know. just to make another point as well, you know, that's why a lot of our people are gonna end up in a real sticky situation. Come Jacob Trump, why coming into the time of Jacob Trump, that's like Israel's persecution and stuff. That's why a lot of Jacob's gonna get persecuted on a high level because they're gonna trust in Esau to help them, man. Gonna trust in these damn devils to give them some support or some support, but that's the broadest thing that is gonna happen from the thing that is gonna happen,
Con. I got one real quick.
Okay, Con.
This is in the book of Hosea 4 and 6. It says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children." And just land back that. Let me just get this one. In Isaiah 33 and 6, it says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Hashai, is his treasure." So in the time that we're approaching, the time that brother bringing out, Jacob's trouble, you don't have the knowledge, man. If you don't have that knowledge, then you ain't gonna be stable, man. Ultimately, back in Hosea 4 and 6, it says, our people gonna be destroyed, for what? For lack of knowledge. If you don't got that knowledge, then you're gonna just be through out here, man. You're gonna be thrust through out here, man.
I got a quick one too.
Okay.
This Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 13. It says, "Therefore my people are going into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst." So that's why people are in these concentration camps. Why they don't have no knowledge? You know what I'm saying? And that's ultimately why Jay gonna be in horrible position. Like the brother was saying, come Jacob Trump, why? Because they rejected knowledge. They don't have what it takes to keep them out of their position. Which is ultimately the wisdom, knowledge, understanding behind yourself.
Yep.
Can you go back to that Isaiah 9 and 13? I mean 9 and 12.
Hosea.
I mean Hosea, Salaki, brother.
Con. Hosea 9 and 12, it says, "Though they bring up their children, yet will I bereave them, that there shall not be a man left. Yea, woe also to them when I depart from them."
That's what happened, man. You have Shimon. He pretty much he turned his face from us and looked upon us for evil and not for good. Starting from starting with the northern king, the southern king. Everybody within our nation, anybody, pretty much anybody can get it. Just leave it at that. It's not, pretty much, looking over us for good things, whether it be for righteousness' sake or whether it be for punishment for your wicked doing. Either way, how much it's still allowing, Jake to be persecuted,
Yep. I just came across one article. It says Trump administration concealed death of 10-year-old migrant girl for 8 months. This is a report back last year. I could read a little bit of it. It says Texas Congressman Julian Castro is accusing the Trump administration of covering up the death of a 10-year-old migrant girl from El Salvador who died in government care back in September of 2018. According to CBS News, it says, let me see. Let me just get a little bit on there. It says, following a surgical procedure, complications left the child in a basically a coma. It says she was transported to a nursing facility in Phoenix, Arizona for these words, man. Palliative. Let me just get the pronunciation. Slovakia. This is palliative care. Let me just see.
Palliative.
Palliative. It says of a medicine or medical care relieving pain without dealing with the cause of the condition. So it ain't really doing nothing to help. Just just relieving the pain. Slovakia. Which one? I had a few pulled up. Let me see. I found it. So it says palliative care made after release from a San Antonio hospital. On September 26, she was transferred to an Omaha, Nebraska nurse facility to be closer to her family. On September 29th, the child was transported to Children's Hospital of Omaha, where she passed due to fever and respiratory distress. And this is a 10-year-old girl, man. Typically 10-year-olds aren't, going to be passing away from stuff like that. So we know it's a type of condition, all right, that they have our people in that's leading to that, man. And this is just one of many cases. I think there was another case where I came across with a boy. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, this is something. If they're hiding that for 8 months, imagine. I mean, this is to this day, man. We are yet this day in our captivity, man. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, I could just read a little bit more, but it says this growing list of dead children raises another, more disturbing question that needs to be answered by the president and members of his administration. How are these kids being treated, and why are so many of them dying while in custody? So I could just leave it at that. You have something, bro?
Yeah. You read that Hosea 9:12 one more time, Bob?
Come. Hosea 9:12. It says, though they bring up their children, yet I will bereave them, that there shall not.
That's why these children are dying. Because how about you myself bereaving them? Can you get that word bereave up?
Come, already on it. Let's see. Strong's H7921. It says shakal. It says to be bereaved, make childless, miscarry.
That's wild.
Khan. Yep. Lose children. Spoil. Rob of children.
Damn. So that's the answer right there.
That's heavy, man.
Khan. So this is biblical prophecy taking place to let you know, like, look, the northern kingdom's children, this is happening to the northern kingdom right now,
Yep. Yep, right now. Yeah, I'm just looking at different pictures or whatever. But you have something?
No, just read down 13 by myself.
Okay. Verse 13, it says, Ephraim says, as I saw Tyrus is planted in the pleasant.
It was a little bit more than 12.
Oh, Khan. Back in Hosea 9:12 says, though they bring up their children, yet I will bereave them. Says that there shall not be a man left. Yeah, woe also to them when I depart from them. Verse 13 says, Ephraim. Whoa. Yeah, that's destruction, man. Yep. Verse 13 it says, Ephraim, as I saw Tyrus, is planted in a pleasant place, but Ephraim shall bring forth his children to the murderer.
The prophecy of Ephraim, man, be fruitful. You know what I'm saying? To be very fruitful, which not only the tribe of Ephraim, but a lot of the northern kingdom, have lots of children, But they say, they're gonna have a lot of children. They're gonna bring forth to the murderers, man. Which the murderer is Esau, man. Which was the first murder, you know, which these so-called white people, like they
Is
are
it school
descendants of
sports
Cain,
day?
you know.
Slot. That was it on that?
Yeah, that was it on that.
Okay. You had something?
You got something else? Yeah, I got a few, but you got some?
No, you can bring out what you got.
Yeah, get Jeremiah 37.
Okay. This is the book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 30 and verse 7. It says, Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
Yeah, so we coming into the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Which, you know, can we get some synonyms for that word trouble? Myself,
Okay.
you know, Jacob represents the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You know, starting from the southern kingdom on down to the northern kingdom. You know, so-called Mexicans, so-called El Salvadorians, you know, so-called Dominicans, you know, so-called Mexicans, so-called Puerto Ricans, you know, so-called Brazilians, you know, some so-called Peruvians, you know, Guatemalans, you know, Colombians, Cubans, you know, Haitians, you know, all these so-called bywords. This is the time of real trouble, man. We're coming into the time of real trouble, you know, which we've been in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. You know, really, you know, we've been in the beginning stages of the world. We got, you know, these children dying in concentration camps, man. You know, that James being persecuted on high level with George Floyd, you know. These guys got their even in his neck to the death, man. You know. You got what? A army, man. You know, they got this man dead in the street, man. You know, got out for, you know, Breonna Taylor. You know, police is running her house, you know, shooting his place, man. You know, so, well, in Chicago, you know, they said on the previous weekend, 86 people got shot in Chicago.
Damn.
You know, and that's been going on, man. You know.
Yep.
So we in the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble right now. You know, you got Donald Trump. He's sitting out he done sitting out 50,000 to 75,000 federal troops, man. You know, and a lot of urban states, man. You know, a lot of urban areas, man.
Right.
What's the urban area? That's what you just said, man.
Right. I got one. This is in the prophet Zechariah 11 and 5. It says, Whose possessors slay them, and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. You know? So we see it happening, man. You know? You see who's the possessors, man. You know, Deuteronomy 28, man. We're gonna be sold unto our enemies, man. Our enemies are the possessors, man. They're the oppressors, man. It says, hold themselves not guilty. We see that, man. You know, Tupac said it best, you know. Pull a trigger, kill a nigga, he's a hero. You know what I mean? Come on, man. George Zimmerman, man. That was, you know, years ago. You know, really before I even came to the truth, I was thinking like that was going to bring the race war. You know, that was just, you know, me thinking carnally, but, you know, in a sense, that's biblical. You know, nation rising as nation. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, George Zimmerman, you know, the gun that killed Trayvon Martin was auctioned for what, 250,000 or something crazy, man. Like this is where we are, man. We are yet this day in our captivity, man. You know, and Zimmerman, he's walking around. He hold himself not guilty, man. It says, and they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, for I am rich, and the own shepherds pity them not. You know, our people, man. You know, so-called people who's, you know, who's supposed to be shepherds, man. You know, what are they doing, man? So, you know, we need a higher power, man, to deliver us out of this place. Ultimately, if you ain't got that knowledge and wisdom, you know what I'm saying? If you just wasn't chosen from the foundation, then you would not be that, you know, Jacob. You would not be saved out of Jacob's trouble, you know, pursuant to that scripture.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you'd be
Yep.
saved in a sense of you know, long term, but you know, you're gonna, hey man, scriptures say, you know, judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. So,
Mm.
you know, you're not gonna make it out of Jacob's trouble, you know, if you're just out here, you know what I'm saying? If you're rejecting knowledge, man. You know, if you're rejecting the spirit of Yahushua.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which is the word. Which is the knowledge.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, Khan. Yep, that was it though.
Did you were you able to pull up some synonyms for the word trouble?
Oh, Khan, Salak. Trouble. It says difficulty or problems. It says problems, difficulties, issues. It says inconvenience. It says
Ooh.
unease, vexation. It says agitation, harassment. It says problem, misfortune, trial, tribulation. It says trauma,
Ooh.
adversity, hardship, burden, pain, suffering, affliction, torment, woe, grief.
Oh, woe? You got woe in there?
It got woe in there, yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, we just brought it out, man. We just brought it out in Hosea 9.
Yep.
Yep. Travails. This is in deep shit. It goes into the malfunction of something, such as machine or part of the body. And that it says disease, illness, sickness, ailment. It says disorder, disability, dysfunction, you know, malfunction, failure, breakdown, fault. But that's another you know, another definition. But yeah, that was really it. That's a lot though, man. Torment. Yeah. Let me get this.
Can you hear me, brother?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Yeah, the volume was acting a little wild.
Con, I can hear you now. I was gonna get something, but you had something?
No, yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Slow.
This is in St. Matthew 24 and verse 20, just to get some context, verse 21. It says, "For then shall be great tribulation." All right, but that's synonymous, you know, trial, tribulation, you know, to trouble. It says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as will not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be." It says, verse 22, it says, "And except those days should be shortened," it says, "there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake those days shall be shortened." You know?
He that's gonna be saved out of it, man. You know,
Yeah, that's right, brother. Yep. Jumping down to verse.
Oh, you got it, bro. Slow.
Nah, you got it.
No, I was gonna say, I looked up this word persecution, the synonyms for the word persecution, because I was trying to see if that word trouble was synonymous with persecution. But one of the words that was synonymous with trouble was torment. You know, torment.
Yep.
And you go into persecution. One of the words that's synonymous for persecution is torture or torment, man. You know? And that made me think of one too. You know what I'm saying? But you got it.
God. Jumping down to verse 29, it says, "Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory." It says, "And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, It says, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. You know, so that's hey man, that's Jacob getting delivered out of there. And then if you look at the just how this, how does this was, translated into the English, but how it was worded, there's the order of this thing, man. This is immediately after the tribulation. So it reminds me of this scripture here. You probably know where I'm going, in Acts, I believe. This is in Acts 14 and 22. It says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, that we must, through much tribulation, enter to the kingdom of Yahweh Hashem Hashai.
So that's how you know.
You got
just a quick point. It's letting you know that the righteous and the wicked gonna have to go through this time of trouble. Even though the elect gonna be delivered out of it, everybody's got to go through it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It don't matter who you are, you're gonna have to go through it. Revelations 3 and 10. Which Lord willing, we'll probably grab that.
Okay. I got one.
Like I ain't gonna cut you off.
Nah, yeah, that was a good point. You know what I'm saying? That's basically it. Like, just the order of how this thing happens. We have to go through that tribulation. The elect don't have to go through it, just like you said. Every Jake is going to be going through that trouble. It's called Jacob's trouble, man. I got this here in Zechariah 13 and 8.
Yeah.
It says, Zechariah 13 and 8, it shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Hashai, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried, and they shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Hashai, is my power. So, just to, that point that I was going to make is just the fact that it says the third, will be brought through the fire. We already brought out in Acts 14:22, through much tribulation, man. So we're gonna have to be going through that fiery trial, through that time of trouble, man. But the whole point is that we're gonna make it through,
Right, kind of.
But Lord willing, because 2/3, it's a lot, but 2/3, 2/3, yeah, we ain't making ourselves to that number, but Lord willing, be those men. 2/3, they're gonna be going, they're gonna be in that fire. Not to say that they're gonna go through it. They're gonna be in that. They're gonna be in Jacob's trouble, and they're just gonna be caught up.
Yeah, kind of. I was gonna say the same thing. You put the words on my mouth, brother. That's exactly what's gonna happen. Ultimately, you're gonna have those who go. The whole point is gonna be a fire. There's gonna be some who gonna get through the fire, but it said, I'm gonna bring the third part through the fire. You know what I'm saying? The 2 parts gonna be cut off and died. So then, they're not gonna make it through the fire. But the whole point on that, it's gonna be a fire. You know what I'm saying? And then I got 2 quick points. You got something else?
No, you got it.
Okay, because it said, can you read that? I will try them. That verse one more time. I will try them as gold is tried.
Khan, Zechariah 13:9, it says, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. It says, they shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Hashai, is my power.
Okay, so you go into this word try on Google. It says to use or test. So like use, test, or do something new or different in order to see if it is suitable, effective, or pleasant. And it says some of the synonyms for it is test, try out, check out, example, inspect, investigate, examine, appraise, evaluate, assess, trial, pilot. Then another one is it says make severe demands on a person or quality certification. And it says strain, test, scratch, set, drain, exhaust, wear out. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna evaluate and assess us, man. He's gonna examine and investigate and inspect us. He's gonna put strain on us, you know, by going through fire, man. Because if you make it through, like, say your house on fire, you know what I'm saying, you somehow get out of that house, you know what I'm saying, don't get burned up, man. That's a real trying situation. You know, that's a real scratchy, exhausting situation. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, what Yahweh Shai would bring amongst the whole world, you know, and primarily our nation. You know why? Like the scripture quoted in 1 Peter 4:17 is because it's time for judgment to begin in the house of Yahweh Shai. You know.
Yep.
So Yahweh Shai for the investigate, inspect us. If you know, if we really got what it takes, man, you know, and you know, we know that 2/3 of our people, they really don't got what it takes, or willing, you know, we got what it takes, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
And another point is on the word persecution. The noun for the word persecution is affliction, which, you know, affliction was synonymous with that word trouble. And when you go into another synonym for the word persecution is imprisonment. You know, so just going into the ultimately going into that you know, those concentration camps, you know, touching back on that a little bit, you know. It's going, you know, we know that the devil's going to cast on you in the prison that you may be tried, you know. But ultimately, let's see how about you know, bring that third through the fire, man. You know, but 2/3 they're not going to make it through the fire. But everybody's going to be put in strenuous situations. You know, we know everybody's going to have different lives, you know, but ultimately everybody's going to be tried out here, you know.
Right. When you went into that word, try, when you read the synonyms, it's really the same as if you go into the Strong's. Well, you know, I'm not in Blue Letter, but Strong's H 974, it says bakan. It says to examine, try, prove, to examine, scrutinize, to test, prove, try, to be tried, proved. And if I go up, it basically, it said the same thing, the same order, because you said to investigate, examine, you know, same thing. And you said, you made me think when you said to wear out, you know, and I got this in Daniel 7 and 25. Because that goes right into the persecution, man. In Daniel 7 and 25, it says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. Come on, man. You know, and this is that fourth beast, right? This is Khan. Verse 23, it says, yeah, that fourth beast, which is the Roman Empire. You know, this is the revised Roman Empire, man.
Yep.
You know, so we see like this. Hey, man, they're wearing out the saints, man. You know, who are the Israelites? You know, ultimately, you know, the elect. You know, we're gonna be worn out along with the whole nation. You know, but as we're bringing out, Lord willing, we be those men. You know, the elect. You know, we're gonna make it through that fire, man. You know, the beast isn't gonna win, man. But the Most High, he's using prophets like the prophet Daniel. You know, he speaks through the mouth of his prophets. So this right here is just all a prophecy that that we're gonna be worn out. You know, by this beast.
Yep. Beautiful, beautiful. You know, and I got one more point too on that word persecution. Another synonym for I was telling you was torment or torture, which is
Mhm.
also synonymous with the word trouble. And I got this precept. This second Ezra chapter 9 verse 9. It says, "Men till they be in pitiful case, which now have
Mhm.
abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torment." You
Mm.
know, so those who attain unto the ways of Yahweh Shemashah, those who accept the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, like you was touching on a little bit earlier,
Mhm.
those who don't cast it to the side, they're not gonna be cast away. I mean, they're not gonna dwell in torment. They're gonna be brought out of torment, even though ultimately we know our nation is going to be brought through torment, but it's going to be some going to be able to get through those torments. But those who cast away the way Yahweh Shemashah despitefully, they're going to stay in them torments. Because that word dwell, another word for that word dwell means to stay.
Mm.
So you're going to stay in the torment. You're going to stay in the fire. But ultimately, those who Yahweh Shemashah, who stuck to the ways of Yahweh Shemashah, they're going to make it through. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Calm.
Yeah, that was it. You got something else out?
Calm. I gotta get one of the favorites. This is in Daniel 12:1. It says, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book." It says, "And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt." Just like you're bringing up, man. That torment, which that ain't talking about no fire pit. But this was, this, Jake. Jake is through out. With these doctrine of devils, man. No pun
Yeah.
intended. But this is ultimately how this is gonna work, man. People who are gonna wake up to that everlasting shame, after that death by pain, you know, that's that many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth, man. Revelation 20, man. I mean, I could get that because that kind of goes. I was thinking about getting that before we started this
Hey,
lesson.
Kalak,
Come, come.
I got a quick point too.
Yeah.
Cause okay, cause like you were just touching on about hell, like they're not
Mhm.
literally talking about no damn being tortured in Hades somewhere. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because when you go into on Google, you go into the word hell.
Mhm.
It says a state or place of great suffering and unbearable experience.
Right.
Okay, a state or place of great suffering and unbearable experience. Then when you go into some of the synonyms for it, check this out: torture.
Yeah.
So a word that's synonymous with hell is torture.
Mhm.
You know,
See,
it's
dwelling in
trouble, going
torments,
into trouble,
trouble.
kind,
Oh, con,
yep,
con.
tribulation. You know,
Mhm.
whoa, that's hell. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Con. Yep. Come on, man. Jake be thinking that weeping and gnashing of teeth. I mean, yeah, we doing that now, man. Jake thinks that that's talking about, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. This is it. you
Yep,
know.
yep,
But
yep.
there's different definitions of hell, but none of them are some fire pit.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
Hell is death, which is synonymous. Death is more than one definition for death. But not to go too far. I had that in Revelation 20.
You got it, bro.
I'm gonna just start at verse 3. We're talking about the devil Satan being bound 1,000 years. It says, "And cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up." All right, see that bottomless pit? They talking about. You think that's talking about hell? Nah, that's talking about Europe.
Right.
But it says, "And set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more, till 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season. So with the devil, you know what I'm saying, he gonna come out of the hell, you know, the hellfire, and just come just run rampant on the earth. And how did he deceive the nations? I mean, these Christians, they can't break this down, man.
Bro. I got one. You got them on that word?
Yeah, I was gonna get forward, but you could,
I got a
yeah.
quick one just to back up. Give you a quick point. This Habakkuk chapter 2, not to veer too far off, but you know, just to put a little bit more ice on what you did. This Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5, it says, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, for enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people, you know. And that's, you know, that's going into this devil, you know, that came out of the bottom of this pit, man, who is as hell, you know, he is as suffering, he is as affliction, you know. That's pertaining to Revelations, the 6th chapter, you know, that pale horse, you know. That's the damn devil that came out of that bottomless pit, you know.
Yeah. Come on, bro.
So he is as hell, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, just to add that point, a lot of
Come on, bro. Yeah, let me think of one. Let me see. I think it's a quick one. This is in Proverbs 8:36. It says, "But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All that hate me love death." See that? And you know that's, I mean, the devil, man. You know, the devil was made to love death, enlarge of his desire as hell, which is what? Which is death. You know?
Yeah.
But you know, just laying back that. But back in Revelation 20:4 it says, "And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushai, and for the word of the Most High, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received the mark upon their foreheads or in their hands." You know, which this mark, you know, that is the RFID microchip. "And they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years." So those are the men, all right, who's gonna, you know, it says reign and live with Hamashiach 1,000 years. They're gonna be making it through. They're gonna be, they're gonna be delivered. They're gonna be gathered. You know, pursuant to Matthew the 24th chapter, to Daniel the 12th chapter.
12th chapter. Yep. Jeremiah 30.
Jeremiah 30. This is it, man. You know, that's
13.
Zechariah 13, right? Going through that fire, man. You know. So, you know, that's this. Hey, man, this is how it works, man. You know, going through that tribulation, you know, but ultimately, you know, there's a prize at the end of it, man. Most I ain't gonna do this to his people, you know, the apple of his eye, you know, just because he's like some type of I don't know, I ain't gonna go too far. But ultimately, this is how this thing works. You know, this is how this thing works. That ultimately, you know, there's people who are gonna go through that fiery trial and are gonna be suffering, man. We yet this day in captivity, and it seems like we've been suffering for forever, which, in a sense, we have. You know, but the true eternal suffering is gonna be upon these heathens, man. Chiefly the Edomite, the devil.
Yep. Beautiful, beautiful. Yep. And you know, on that, just a quick point too on that Revelation 20 at the end when it said they lived and reigned for the Mashiach 1,000 years. You know, but we read in Daniel 7:25 when it said he shall speak great words against the Most High, and swear out the saints, and the Most High, and they shall think to change times and laws, and they shall give it into his hand until a time in the body of time, you know, which ultimately we know that the devil was, you know, given a time, you know what I'm saying, to ultimately inflict hell and suffering over and death over others, man. You know, which we coming into the end of that time right now, which is ultimately going to be the pinnacle of his hell and death that he's going to impose on others. You know, it says in verse 26, it says, "For the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and to destroy it unto the end, you know, ultimately, you know, going into what you were just saying, which is going to be that eternal suffering and hell that's going to be cast upon these heathens, you know, starting from the so-called white man, you know, damn devil, you know. It says in verse 27, it says, "And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High," that those who through the fire, you know, those who are delivered, you know, those who are gathered, you know, like you was touching on, it says, "Whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him." Obey him. You know, that's living and reigning with a Mashiach 1,000 years, man. You know, and all those who you know, were set up to impose suffering and oppression on our people, they're gonna be cast into that state of suffering and oppression. You know what I'm saying? Deuteronomy 30 and 7. You know.
Con. That's right.
Yeah. But you got some out?
Yeah, I just remembered kind of the reason why I wanted to go into Revelation 5. Slocky, Revelation 20, the 5th verse, because we already brought out, you know, that there's going to be men who are going to live and reign with Mashiach 1,000 years. Basically, the elect who are going to get gathered. Verse 5, it says, "But the rest of the dead live not again until 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection." So that's basically the 2/3, man. You know, the ones who are not going to make it through the fire. You know, the ones in 2nd Ezra 9 and 9 that we brought out, man. You know, pitiful case, man. You know, those who rejected knowledge, man.
Yep. Beautiful.
Yep. That was it. Now, what you got?
Can you go to Psalms 10 for me? Just start from the top.
Okay. This is Psalms 10:1. It says, "Why standest thou far off, O Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble?"
Wow, because Yahweh, he stood up in times of trouble. He's examining, he's investigating, man. You know, he's scrutinizing. You know what I'm saying? He's trying. You know, why hidest thyself in the time of trouble? Why did Yahweh stand up in time of trouble? You know.
Yep. Keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. It says, verse 2, "The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined."
And that's ultimately why you have our start saying far off too, because you got our people they'll be like, okay, well, why would God do this to us? Well, first and foremost, for whom he loves, he chastises. You know what I'm saying? That's first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? But secondly, because you have our all about setting people up, man. We know that's how you have our rock, man. He all about it. For the same reason have I lifted Pharaoh up. You know what I'm saying? To show my power in him, man. That's what you have all about. It's about you know, building up, getting to a high state so we can rock your ass. Like you persecute the poor. You know, just like you brought out in Zechariah 11 when, you know, speak about how, you know, they present to slay them, you know, and they say, "Blessed be the Lord," who, you know, for him allowing them to do that, you know, for that's something prideful, you know, which is persecution upon the poor, but ultimately he's going to be taking it in the fight that he even asked, you know, because ultimately Israel is going to be able to possess him and slay him and really be blessed be the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
Beautiful.
You go down to verse. You should keep reading down a little bit up.
It says in verse 3, it says, "For the wicked boasted of his heart's desire, and blessed the covetous, whom the Lord Yahweh Shem Hashai abhorreth." It says, "The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High." It says, Yahweh Shem Hashai is not in all his thoughts.
Yeah, Yahweh Shem Hashai is not in all your thoughts, man. You know, which is ultimately why you're gonna be put
in that everlasting suffering, like you was touching on. Why? Because you cast away the ways of Yahweh Shemel Shah despitefully, man. You know, you projected knowledge on the ultimate level, man. You know, so that's why you're gonna be put in the ultimate level of suffering. You know.
Mhm. Yep. Perfect balance.
Yep. God. Yeah,
It's,
you just go down to 6. Or you got you know say tomorrow.
nah. It says in verse 5, it says, His ways are always grievous, thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity.
Right, so he's thinking, oh, because I get to oppose the persecution of Jacob's trouble, I get to, put that forth, I get to be the leading helping hand behind the trouble that's gonna be put forth on Jacob. Obviously I'm never gonna be in trouble, man. But that's where you can see that because we coming in because Jacob's trouble really means Edom's trouble, man. You know what I'm saying? Jacob's trouble that's gonna, ultimately turn into Esau's trouble, man. It's gonna be your adversity, because he thinks, oh, I'm never gonna be in adversity, but really, even though it's Jacob's trouble, which is synonymous with the word adversity, Jacob's adversity really is gonna turn into Esau's adversity, man. Because you don't think you're gonna be in adversity because it's Jacob's adversity, but really, it's your adversity. Taking it in device, what you have to do,
God. God, not. Esau's trouble. He will not be saved out of it.
Yeah. He will be saved out of that. Ain't gonna be none remaining of that.
Yeah. Yep, as it is written. Yep.
1044 too, call like Yabashimashai.
Call it Bashimashai.
You got something else out?
Nah, what you got?
Let's go to that Matthew 5.
Okay.
Did you still want to get that verse you were talking about in the chapter?
Little willing. You mean start at verse 9 or 10? It says St. Matthew 5 and 10. It says, Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
So it says, blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, which means there's going to be people who are going to be persecuted, but it's not going to be for righteousness' sake. So what that means, theirs is not the kingdom of heaven. There's not going to be those who are going to live and reign with Hamashiach 1,000 years, man. Like you were touching about the first resurrection, that's the 2/3, man. That's not going to be those who are going to possess the kingdom forever and ever and take the dominion away with, pertaining to Daniel 7 chapter, which we read.
Right. Karnak. Yep. Because it's going to be, Jacob's going to be persecuted, but not necessarily for righteousness' sake. They just going to get judged. You know what I'm saying? But, ultimately, all of Israel is going to be saved, But we're just talking about the men who's going to literally take the kingdom, who's going to literally reign and live with Mashiach 1,000 years, That's really what we would hope for. We don't want to suffer that death by pain. We don't want to be in everlasting torments, man. Everlasting shame.
Yeah, that's horrendous, man. You know what I'm saying? It's torture, man. You know what I'm saying? Who wants to be tortured, man? You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Got one.
You grab whatever you got after you read down to 12 on that too. You know what I'm saying? You grab what you got.
Okay. This is in 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 17. It says, For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. So ultimately, the time of Jacob's trouble, which is a time since there was a nation, it's really just a light affliction, compared to the eternal glory of the kingdom. It's still You know, even though it's worse than anything, but it's still nothing compared to the eternal the eternal glory obtained to this scripture. But I was thinking of 2nd Ezra 7:43. But you know, that was really the point. Con. Back in St. Matthew 5, you said read down.
Yes, the 12 of the shot.
Con. It says in verse 11, it says, "Blessed are ye when men shall revile you, Salak." It says, "and persecute you, and they shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake." And we know the devil, you know, that's synonymous with the false accuser. So this is the devil. This is the devil right here, man. Accuser of thy brethren. Mm-hmm. Yep. It says, "Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you."
You know, so that's honorable, man. You know what I'm saying? Before honor is humility, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just like those great righteous men that was before us, you know, that we read about, you know, that we, you know, aspire to be like, you know, they were they was persecuted for righteousness' sake, man. You know, so that's really an honorable thing, man. You don't want to just be persecuted. You know what I'm saying? That's ugly, man. You know what I'm saying? You just get persecuted, you know, just for nothing. You just get knocked off out here, man. At least you die for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course you're gonna die for a reason regardless, but you know what I'm saying? You want to die for a reason that is honorable, which ain't nothing honorable except for your servitude unto Yahweh when you're outside, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I got a quick one too.
Come.
It's Psalms chapter 141 and 5. It says, "Let the righteous smite me. It shall be a kindness, and let him reprove me. It shall be an excellent oil, which shall not break my head, for yet my prayer also shall be in their calamities," man. You know? So ultimately, you know, it's cool for the you know, the righteous smite us, man. You know, but that kindness is cool, man. You know, let him reprove us, it shall be an excellent oil. You know, we should not break our head, man. But you got people head who's gonna be broke. You know, yet my prayer also should be in their calamities, man. You know, so ultimately, Yahweh Shemashah, well, that leads us to Mark 35 too about the prayer of the righteous pierces the cloud. You know, so ultimately, us taking persecution from Yahweh Shemashah for righteousness' sake is a beautiful thing, man. You know, because you got those who are going to be persecuted, but they're not going to be persecuted for righteousness' sake. They're just going to be persecuted for their wickedness, for their wickedness' sake.
Right.
You know, so it's a beautiful thing for us to, you know, go through this on the right hand side of Yahweh Shemashah. You know, that's what we should aspire to do. You know. You got some up?
Now what you got?
I got James 5:10.
I can read it. James 5 and verse 10. It says, "Take, my brethren, the prophets, who have spoken in the name of the Lord Yahweh Shemashah, for an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience."
You know, so we look.
You there, bro? Can't hear you.